Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JayLeesCorner. Happy Thursday Eve versus after show. Little chit chat, child. Look, did y'all watch the verses between Donell Jones and Joe? And Donell Jones, Joe, and the musical elements of microphones not being the best. I'm like, was it me or was it a little bit? Look, I don't know. Okay, but it's late. I want to go to bed. We're going to get into the things. Okay, but y'all know first things first. If you have not done so already, please make sure that you have already liked this video, that you are subscribed to my channel. You're going to share this video with your friends, family, whoever else, or whatever, child. Y'all know to comment in the comment section. Look, I don't have no lipstick on. I'm real basic right now. Don't judge me, judge yourself. Don't judge me, judge y'all. Okay, get off my back. Okay, look, I went ahead, I watched the full verses, got all into it from beginning to end. They started on time. Okay, and I felt one way before the verses started. I felt a different way once it got started. And in the middle of things, I felt different kind of things. Okay, but look, y'all know also I was live on Tuesday. If you have not watched that review, go do it. I finally did a thumbnail. Okay, so it's content up. Go watch. Okay, go watch the things and whatnot. Okay, because I put stuff up from Tuesday to today. But let's get into the verses between Joe and Donell Jones. Okay, but y'all know how I do. One, how y'all doing? Let me get my hellos in because I just came in talking. Okay, you forgot, I didn't. Okay, only because I said, girl, it's the verses on. Get a thumbnail together, do the things. Okay, so I was like, would this be a good verses? Does Donell Jones have enough hits? Does Joe have enough hits? Is it 20 hits between them, one by one by one? I don't know. And so I felt some kind of way from the beginning of this going on. And once we got into the sound, and I don't know if it was the sound of the sound, the microphone, the speakers, the chorus, or if that was the Donell Jones' throat. I don't know if Donell Jones' throat was having vocal issues, if the microphone and the chords and the speakers was having issues. I'm not sure, but I kept on sounding like this. Okay. And I remember back in the day, they used to say that Donell Jones, we gonna only be about 30 minutes. Y'all know the Verzuz live battle, the Verzuz live after your chats don't be long, okay, at the all. Yeah, and then the thumbnail, I say, girl, make it feel real sultry. Okay, so little mood lighting. Okay, some little lavender purple round here. Suits and ties, open shirts, bald heads and whatnot. Okay, I forgot both Donell Jones and Joe was bald. Bald me and I colliding, but um, bald me and colliding. But yeah, when I was watching the thing, I was like, I don't want to say that anybody lost. I don't want to say that anybody won. Okay. What I will say is somebody's sound was better than other people's sound, and that caused, stuff to be what it was. Outfit wise, I'm gonna get into that as well. Okay, but again, it was a good time. It was a real relaxed. Hey, it was a real relaxed evening of the peoples and whatnot. But let me go ahead, because y'all know I had to get a screenshot. Y'all know I had to get some screenshots. Okay, hold on. Okay. I just want to be sure that I have them. So, in my opinion, because there's different ways to win. Okay. You can win with your outfit. You can win with your voice. You can win with your song selection. You can win by crowd participation, and you can win because you just, went out and did a good job. I feel like different elements happen different ways. I preferred Donell Jones. That's a still, right? Ain't she a singer? Ain't that who that is? That's a still, right? Because she opened the show with her little shimmery shirt dress. And whatever, big, gold hoops, cute little haircut, and whatever. I feel like her name is Estelle, and she's a singer. I think she's from across the pond. But don't quote me, because sometimes I be, not to think right. Okay, yeah, that was I thought it was. So, she came out and introduced the peoples. Okay, the legendary Donell Jones, the legendary Joe, and what's not. And again, I do feel like I preferred Donell Jones's suit. Okay, because Donell Jones, to me, look, okay, I love men in a suit. Okay, I love a man in a good, well-fitted suit. Okay, not no big bulky suit, not no don't fit their body suit, not no I went and bought it off the rack that don't fit me well suit. I love a man in a good suit with good looking teeth. You know what I'm saying? Donell Jones got them dimples. Okay, he had the little sunglasses on. You know what I'm saying? To me, Donell Jones looked better in this white, creamy, well-fitted tailor. He said, look, my voice gonna be cracky, my suit gonna be suited and booty, bitch. And I said, you better do it, Donell. You better know how to play. You better know how to do it, okay? If you know the sound coming from your throat might not be the best, okay? You better have a good-ass suit and a good-ass fedora hat and some good-ass shades you can see in. Because I don't think Joe can fully see out of his sunglasses. And that's why he took him off eventually, because Joe almost tripped and died walking out there. Okay, he tripped. He spun it and danced and made it look cute. But I was like, Joe, can you see him? Don't be wearing sunglasses at night if you can't see, or in a dark lighted, cloudy club or whatever. Okay, but yeah, I also love Estelle's dress. It looks amazing. But Donell, I said, yes. And I'm happy he didn't wear a black suit. He said, look, I'm going to look good. I will stand out, bitch. Okay. Now, Joe, wasn't nothing wrong with Joe's suit. I'm not saying Joe's suit wasn't shit, because y'all know red my favorite color. Okay. I'm going to get a full picture of his suit in 1 second. And Joe kept moving around. Joe wasn't being still. It was hard for me to get good, clean, crisp photographs of Joe, because he was moving so fast. Okay, Joe might have a cane, but Joe was quick on his feet. But Joe's suit, I didn't like the undershirt, the undershirt, I didn't like the shirt Joe wore with his suit. The shirt was too flashy. He really should have worn a black shirt under there. Joe out here in the goddamn, was it a flower shirt, a mushroom shirt, a corn shirt? I'm not sure. But it was a patterned shirt up under the devil red suit. And I'm not, I wish it was just one color, but I digress. Okay. But Joe came out in a red suit that still looked good. I hated the undershirt, but he almost died because he walked out, tripped a little bit. That cane, them shoes, them some dark sunglasses. Okay, them are some really dark. I'm real high. I don't want anyone to see my eyes. I can't really see sunglasses. Okay, but I was like, take them off, Joe. We don't want to lose you or have you break a leg. Okay, but Joe. Again, it wasn't anything wrong with Joe's suit. I just think Donell's suit looked a little bit better. Now, this is the get you got to. Also, the background, because look, we got a full diatribe conversation about the things. Y'all having a good time? Y'all got some water, some edibles, a Red Bull, okay, some water. Anyway, also, Donell Jones having the red bottom brim hat, the black on top, red underneath, really stood out too. Well, who picked the people to sit behind them? Part of the aesthetic. Okay, like for me, y'all see, it's a blank wall here, but you see it's a lamp right there. Okay, and a lady with some glasses and some red lips. Okay, the background may be a bit basic, but not so much. Who picked them people to sit back there? When you have a Donell Jones and a Joe serenading and singing the songs, you have to be up there. You know what I'm saying? You have to be swaying with the beat, bitch. Singing the words. Okay, you have to be just makes me weak and knocks me up. Like they was back there, they wasn't participating. Who did they pay to sit there? Okay, how much extra was the ticket price to sit on stage and not do shit? Because in the audience ain't no seats. I don't want to stand for that long. How much can I pay to come sit on stage? I'm not gonna do shit up there. I'm gonna just sit. And then there was one dude, sorry, I'm not saying nigga. It was one dude on stage who the whole time, Joe singing, the song stutter, stutter. This nigga texting. Who you texting? He like, Who you text? You on stage, right? You are a part of the show. You cannot be on stage sitting behind Donell, Throat might be messed up Jones and bald-headed Joe with an ugly ass undershirt on. You can't be up there behind them two legends on your cell phone in a goddamn white tee and some gym shoes, bitch. You weren't even dressed appropriately. Okay, you weren't dressed appropriately for the background seats. Okay, somebody should be fired for having a nigga up there with a white tee and some gym shoes texting on the goddamn stage in front of thousands and millions of people. Okay, now she's not bald, but the short hair lady in the black, she was in it. She was like, she was getting into whatever. But I was like, he texting. You sitting behind Joe as he's singing more and more, more, more. And who are you texting? Because even if you text your one thing to come fuck after the fact, text her later or get your ass off stage and have someone else up there who's in a suit. Got me upset because you up your ass up there. I'm like, what's anyway? I digress. Okay, the people in the background pissed me off. Okay, got me upset. Now I don't remember all the songs they did, but I feel like throughout the whole time of the show, there was never a point where I felt like, oh, I don't know this song, or this is a strange song, or no one wants to hear this. I felt like every single song they played was great. Now Joe played Stutter twice. Okay, Joe played Stutter, Stutter, Stutter. Maybe because the song it say Stutter, Stutter, but he played it twice. He played it one time in the beginning and once in the end. So that's not fair. Joe sang song twice. But again, Joe's suit. So again, Joe was out here all red. Okay, and again, there's nothing wrong with Joe's suit. Donell's suit just stood out better in my opinion. Okay, it may have been because of the ugly ass. I was like, bitch, who picked your shirt, Joe? They probably picked me wearing sunglasses and they couldn't see it the right way. Um, you know, whatever. I also felt like it was a room full of Tyrese was in the audience, singing, saying as a spectator. It was a crowd full of people. It was a very robust crowd, there, whatever. But I still felt like in some points when you were supposed to sing, they wasn't singing a song loud enough for me. So I'm like, was the aunties in the crowd or cousins? Okay, aunties are my age and older. Cousins are like my nephew's age. Okay, 18, 19, 20-year-old kids and whatnot. I felt like y'all wasn't singing along good enough for I was singing at the house. Why wasn't y'all? So part of me felt like, they had the aunties maybe behind the stage, but in the crowd, there was cousins. Okay, who didn't really know the songs all the way. They only knew maybe the chorus a little bit. But bitch, you have to know the words. Okay. So that kind of made me be like, whatever. Is Joe on a cane for real or for fake? Is that a real cane or Snowfall cane? Because the show Snowfall, when Franklin Saint had a cane, he was faking. Okay. Is Joe out here Franklin Saint and faking the thing with his leg really messed up? Because he had the cane in the beginning, he set it down. I don't know. But Joe said, I'ma sing. Okay? Because when Donell came out in his good old white suit with the aunties who ain't participating in the nigga in the gym shoes behind him, Donell Jones' throat wasn't the best. And at first I said, is it a sound? Because he kept on like, hit the inner ears. I'm like, is the mic wrong? Is the cords not connected? Is that what happened? Is his throat messed up? Is he stuttering? Is he having a stroke? I was like, is he having a stroke? Because the words felt conjumbled. And I'm like, is he singing the real words versus the fake words? I'm not sure. So when Donell came out, I said, oh, Lord, what's going on? I don't know. So Donell, at first, his throat wasn't matching where it was supposed to be matching. And I said, what's going on? Now, again, back in the day, I remember him saying that Donell had a bit of a little drank issue. But I was so busy today, I didn't even fill up my coldest mug with ice. I just got a little bottle of water. So Donell throat wasn't working. And I'm like, I don't know if it's that he can't hear himself or if he can hear himself and the throat still sound how the throat sound. I don't know. But when Joe came out in his devil red suit with the mustard colored undershirt, Joe sounded good. And Joe said, my mic is on. Me. I'ma sing. Okay. Me, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. He didn't hit the do right. Okay. He didn't hit the do right. Okay. And so I was like, okay. Then Joe came out and Joe said, and hit all the notes. Oh yeah. I said, now I was like, what are you? And Joe, a little bit. Joe said, I'ma show y'all how you supposed to sing the song. Okay, I'ma sing the song. And in his devil red suit, Joe said, I'm here. Okay, I'm sweating and I'm hot in this ugly ass undershirt. But I'm here and I'm doing it. Okay. So Joe came out and had a good old time. Now, the whole show, to me, and to me, they both won in the aspect of they both showed up on time. They didn't cuss each other out. I didn't hear not one punk ass nigga, bitch, nothing. Now they didn't talk much at all, but they weren't beefing. They both had suits on. Nobody came out no gym shoes. They both had songs. It was an enjoyable, hour and a half. It was about an hour and a half long. So to me, they both won in the aspect of R&B music, in the aspect of, both being, legends in this game. They both won. You know, I sat here the whole time and enjoyed the full show from top to bottom. Even when I said, "Is any words come out of Donell's throat?" I don't think you saw. Is he saying it? Okay, but despite the throat issues that Donell had, he still performed. Even if the word was like a little bit skippy. Let's keep it. I'm 44. Okay, I'm 44. Yes, I'm 44. I be forgetting sometimes. And I grew up on both their musics in different realms of life. Okay, I had some memories coming to my brain as I was listening. But just remembering how great R&B music used to be, because back in the day, you'd be like slow dancing, rubbing all on each other's bodies. It was a lot. We was young and fresh, back then. So they both won in that aspect. Okay. However, when it comes to whose songs I knew more Joe songs. But it reminded me of how many great songs Donell Jones has. I said, "Oh, wait a minute, I forgot about it." So Donell Jones, to me, this was probably a great thing for folks to remember. Hey, he had hits and hits and hits too. Joe's might be more memorable as far as popularity, but we say, what's the quarter past two, Shorty? What you want to do? Shorty got her eyes on me. It's the quarter. I was like, bitch, because it was the quarter past two. What were we gonna do? It. Okay. So hearing Donell Jones sing his song, I was like, oh yes. Because before I was like, why did I pick Donell Jones? I'm like, he added like two songs. I was like, no, Jay Lee, it's a whole bunch of more. And so I fully got why they matched them two up. So that was on that. Now, Joe kept leaving, because usually on these things we'll have, to do artists or whatever, who they might cross populate, they might go on each other sides or whatever. Joe would finish his song and Joe would walk off. I'm like, Joe, where you going? Stop walking off. So Joe kept walking away and like going like not like kind of backstage or whatever. But I think his point was I think Joe's point in like leaving the stage was I want to fully give Donell Jones the stage and whatnot. Neither of them was on stage when the other one was on stage or whatever. They both went to their separate corners, but I felt like Joe kept disappearing. I'm like, where the fuck is Joe going? He was probably hot in that suit jacket. So it was cute. But y'all look at the nigga in the back. Okay, two grown men in white tees and gym shoes. Why would you even wear white tees and gym shoes to a Joe and Donell Jones R&B versus battle? Why would you do that? I know church say come as you are. This ain't church. Okay, yes, you can wear sneakers and jeans to church if you need to, but you should no man or woman, you know what I'm saying, should have came to this live versus and not be dressed accordingly. Okay, I'm just saying you should not be anywhere. And again, you sitting there, with on your phone the whole time, and it aggravated me. So I'm like, do you not know where you at? Can y'all not get anybody else up? And I'm like, is anyone watching the live to see how it looks? Even how they had more people on Donell Jones' side and on Joe's side, it was just two ladies sitting there. I wish they would have put, I'm saying, look, 3, look, 4 people and whatnot. Okay. But again, Joe was like, I'm going to sing my throat out. Okay, I'm going to sing my throat out. But Joe couldn't see them sunglasses. I think Donell Jones glasses was a bit more see-through. Like, A crunchy ass white tee. Just crunchy. You ain't had that one button up. You could, even if you would have had a button up shirt and some blue jeans and some little rip. Just why are you in a white tee? Oh, niggas, what's wrong with y'all? I would be like, nigga, what is you? He gotta be single. Because there is no woman who said, baby, we going tonight. Oh yeah, baby, I'm going, I'm working security at the Donell Jones Joe Verzuz. You wearing that? Baby, no. Baby, put on put on these slacks. Okay. Put on these navy blue slacks, okay, with this button up blue and white shirt. Okay. You put on some Stacey Adams. Okay. Tuck your chain in. Your chain's too long. Okay. It ain't a drug deal. Okay. You're not going to a little DJ set. Okay. So that lets me know they single. Or if they not single, their girlfriend is a hood rat who also don't know better. I would be like, nigga, what are you wearing? What are you doing? Don't do that. Then just don't go. If you don't have no clothes that represents where you're going, then don't go. Okay. Anyway, no, I'm being funny. But he could be security. We don't know. He could really be security, and we like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Yes, this was a Tom Ford night. Tom Ford, Gucci, even I don't care, JC Penney, whatever. It don't even have you need some slacks and a button-up shirt because it's warm outside. So it's a warm out. It's warm out. So it's just what you do, and I get it. Maybe your job was to carry in the drum set, and you didn't want to wear no slacks and soft bottom shoes or hard bottom shoes, and you said, "Hey, I'm not gonna be on camera. I'm gonna be somewhere else." Well, cool. Well, then don't go on stage. Okay, don't go on stage if you know that you were not dressed to be seen in public. I'm like, what is you doing? Back is messing up the ambiance of the stage. Joe up in a shiny ass red suits, okay? Loud ass undershirt, okay? Nice ass little cane, freshly shaved bald head, good old dark sunglasses, and you back in a goddamn white tee, some sneakers, probably some Rockport sneakers, and some damn blue jeans. I was like, now why the fuck would you mess up the thing like that, okay? Why would you do any of that? Anyway. Again, it was a crowd full of people. Okay, again, I told y'all the crowd was cousins. Okay, I see maybe 2-3 aunties and 45 cousins. Okay, it was dudes in the audience or whatever, women, it was a mix of people or whatever. Everybody phone up, everybody recording. I also think the rule should be if you are anywhere in the space of the cameras recording, you can't have your phone out. If you want to have your phone out and up and record shit, you should not be in the middle where the cameras are recording it because it's airing publicly. It aggravates my spirit, y'all. When the cameras are trying to catch, the singer sing or whatever, and they have to duck and dodge iPhones and iPads and fucking laptops. People record. I'm like, no, bitch, if you there, I get it. You want to record a lot, but again, you should not be able to be standing in the middle where the cameras are recording and have your cell phone up in the air recording shits. If you want to record, you should have to stand on the side some fucking where. Okay, I'm just saying that would be my rule if I was running the Verzuz. I would say, hey, this middle section is no phones allowed. You cannot put your phone, or if you do, your phone got to be right here. You cannot put your phone up in the air, but you're blocking the cameras. What are you doing? Okay, but I'm Spike Lee anyway. But Donell kept singing off key and off beat, and no words was coming out. I was worried because I was like, again, is he drunk? Does he need a drink? Because y'all know if you're alcoholic and if your body is used to the alcohol, and if you don't have it and your body kind of goes into shock a little bit, sometimes you need a little shot to feel normal. So I was like, does he need a shot? Somebody get him a shot. I'm not sure. But sometimes it sounds like some and again, I do not want to take away from how enjoyable the full Verzuz was. This was a very enjoyable Verzuz, despite any sound and throat issues. It was. But again, when Donell was singing, he and like either no sound would come out or the sound was off key, and it was only on his side. We never heard that on Joe's side. Joe would sing, and that would be it. And then Joe would run off stage, and then Joe would come. We would slide on stage, whatever. So I was like, I think a piece of it might be because if you old enough to remember, like I am, I think Donell Jones was like, I don't want to call him alcoholic, but I just want to say he had a drinking issue, and I think he's probably back on the wagon. Okay. But if that fucked up his voice, that could be why when he sings, sometimes the words can come out a bit jumbled, or he just don't sound the best, And so compared to how good Joe sounded, it was a bit embarrassing, but at the same time, Donell still did good considering. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as if the whole show he sounded weird and sounded bad. Okay. It ain't like the whole show, but like periodically throughout the whole show, his voice would be like, makes me weak. I'm like, what? It's makes me weak and knocks me off. So I don't want to bore you. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't fully get the sound out, and a part of me feel like it may be because of whatever he went through before years ago is in that throat. Okay. Because I love you. But I ain't no singer. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, I still love it. Because he could have said no. He could have said, I don't sound the best. I don't want to be here. Nobody's supposed to be here. My thought isn't right. I ain't gonna show up. But he showed up and he showed out. He showed out. Okay. I also feel like I would not have minded had they done a backing track for Donell Jones and he kind of just sing along. I wouldn't have minded that, but Joe out here in his devil suit, and again, the nigga in the back, Cat pissed me off. Cat pissed. I need to know who that is. Yeah, the background singers that did the background singers for both Joe and Donell did great, but Donnell's background singers sounded great the whole time. So which also made it more noticeable that Donell didn't sound the best. With Joe, he sounded good and so did his background singers. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like but like if you sound like makes me weak, and then you have the singers who sound great, you can tell the difference. Okay. But it was still a great time. But again, I hope whoever watching this back, the show back, and they see themselves sitting back there, they know they look stupid the whole damn time. But again, we see Donell Jones's people back there, singing on key, making him sound good. A good key too is your background people. You want them to sound good in case you sound bad. And that was the thing. Okay. But that's why he wore a good suit. Because he knew if I sound crazy, I look good. I look good. And that's what matters. And I said it is. Mm-hmm. It is. But again, And Joe was sweating hard, but Joe was probably sweating that hard. One, was probably hot under them lights, but two, because he was singing from his diaphragm on up. Okay, because because when I was trying to get pictures for the thumbnail, when I was trying to find pictures for the thumbnail, every picture I saw, I found of Joe, he looked crazy. And now I know why. Because when Joe was in concert and Joe was singing, his face contorts. Like he sings, so he doesn't look like pretty when he's singing. So I was like, oh, that's why all the photographs of Joe singing look crazy. Because I was like, why the fuck they keep getting Joe looking crazy? I'm like, Joe not even crazy. Why? And I'm like, oh, watching this, I'm like, oh, when Joe sings, Joe fully, uses all his face muscles. He strains a lot. So, the pictures of him, whatever. But Joe said, I'm gonna sing the songs because I made the songs, and that's it. Now, at one point, I was like, again, look at the crowd. Cousins. Okay? Those are cousins. Fully. And even Joe's background singers in band, I love they were also dressed, they were suited and booted. Like I love the fact that the people on stage, the musicians, the background singers, and somewhere form that was suited and booted. Okay, suited and booted. And the nigga on the stage was in fucking jeans. But they both gave each other the space. Like again, they did not talk much at all to each other. At one point they would just say like one thing, all right, what's next, bro? You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't in any mean, shady, arrogant, egotistical way. I feel like they said let's just make it be about the music. So there is no need for no trash talk. There's no need for like a back and forth, let's explain, yeah, man, back in 1999 when I made this song, I was reminiscing. It was like, they're like, hey, play the record. Okay, play the record, and that's it. And the fact that Joe kept the damn towel in his hand, because bald man heads get hot. So Joe said, I'm not gonna be like sweating in this red suit. Okay, I'm gonna be looking good. I don't want no sweat stains in my suit. And I said, well, I guess that's the thing. At one point I was like, are there any new songs left? Because I'm like, I don't know, because I think that they was out of songs. And so because at one point Donell Jones brought out 702. Because I did not know that Donell Jones wrote Get It Together by 702. And I didn't know Donell Jones was a writer. And when he brought out 702, I was like, I was 702. I said, what's going on? I said, why are you playing 702? And I then thought, I'm like, I don't think Donell has many other songs. So why not bring out somebody who I produce or wrote or whatever? So he brought out the two remaining members of 702, and they did, I think it's Mila, and I don't. What's the other girl name? What's the girl name? 702 members. So Mila. Because Irish died. Creed, the two, it must be Amelia. Her name can't be Amelia because I feel like, I don't know. But the one alive sister was here. And she lost her other two sisters. They looked good. They sounded pitchy. But not bad pitchy. Just like regular pitchy. You know what I'm saying? They looked great though. I love their outfits. I love they matched. It surprised me because I put on my thumbnail, I'm like, will they bring out guests? Will they bring out guests or whatever? But I thought Joe would first, and was surprised when Donell did first. And again, to bring out a group of a 702 back then was them girls. Okay, we love 702. So I was like, okay, cool. I did not know he wrote, produced, or whatever that song. But again, they didn't sound bad. They did not sound bad. They sound like it may have been some smoke in the background. Okay. And then it got in their throat and they had to do what they can do. The best they could do. But I love the fact that they looked good. Okay. So they're booking for a tour. Now they can lip sing their asses off, but whatever. He also had one of his background singers sing a song he did for Usher, which I never knew he wrote. The song Usher had, all the time I think of you, holding on to someone new, don't make me lose my mind. That's an Usher song from way, way, way back. Like Usher's maybe first album. Had no idea that Donell Jones wrote that, but then I was like, wait a minute, it sounds like him. But it was funny to me because Donell knew he couldn't sing it. And Donell said, well, Usher on tour, so he couldn't be here. So I'm gonna have my homie sing it. I said, yeah, because you can't sing that song. And look at Joe up at us singing. Child, I was like, girl, it was so hard for me to get pictures of Joe that did not look crazy because he'd be like emoting, you know what I'm saying, a lot. And whatnot. But y'all see that shirt? Is it a flower shirt? Is it trees? Like, what made Joe say, you know what? I'm gonna go with devil red, cherry apple red, And they said, well, what you gonna wear under the jacket, Joe? And Joe said, palm tree shirt. Nigga, palm tree shirt. Why would you want a palm tree shirt yourself? Why would you want to, you know what I'm saying? Joe should have absolutely done either a black or white shirt. But that show you Joe's old. Okay, that's somebody's granddaddy. How old is singer Joe? Oh, he's 53. I'm the unk. He's an unk. He's only, 9 years older than me. But so why would you wear that shirt? The whole time the shirt kept just distracting me because I'm like, it was just so busy up under there. Okay. But Joe said I'ma sing nonetheless. Okay. Oh no. Mila and that's Lamisha. Okay. Lamisha. But I was just like, Joe, I just, now look, let's get to Donell, okay? Because I want to make something clear. Okay. I have not thought about seeing Donell Jones in forever. And I love that he looks good. Okay. He might not sound the best on every song the whole time. He sounds good sometimes on some songs, okay? But Donell Jones looks really good. And he looks healthy. You know what I'm saying? He don't sound like, he used to. But I said he looked like he might be fucking a lot too. You can't be fucking that much like that, Donell. When you have a show to do, save your energy. Okay, conserve the energy because orgasms is releasing energy. Okay, and if you release too much energy from your throat, you can't sing right. Okay, but he looked. I said okay. He looked like a grown man. He grown man thick. Okay, he grown man thick. Not one touch. What I touch? Yeah. I think it. Yeah, I would. But I feel like because I don't want anyone to feel like I'm like dogging Donell Jones because I'm not. And even me saying he, his throat was messing up, I mean that in the best of ways. I mean it in a positive way. I mean it in a way of, if you have to sing, and if out of 100%, he sounded 75% good, for the whole show. For the whole show, if it's 1 to 100, he was a good 75. Okay, but 25% of the time, it was a little bit weird up in the throat right here. Okay, and it could be because he got that fucking. I don't know. I wasn't there. But he looks good. Okay, and then Joe took off the fucking coat. I said, Joe, put the coat back on. I said, nigga, what's this? I said, what is you wearing? Put it back on. What are you, girl? Don't take it. No. I was like, nigga, you chose that shirt?
Why would she say that? Like,
of all the shirts in America and in the world, okay, in the world, Craig, you said, you know what? Out of all the shirts to go with the red, devil red, cherry apple red suit, I'm gonna pick a palm tree shirt, and I don't know what's on the shirt. I never even went to look because my eyes was hurting. Okay, I said I can't do it. Not, no, ma'am, no, sir. So I just, I'm just saying, maybe you next time pick a different designer of shirts. Anyway, no, that's a busy ass shirt. And again, look. First of all, let's lust. Because we're lusting after Joe with how great he sounded. We're lusting after Joe for sounding amazing. Let's lust after Donell for looking like he can get it. Okay? Let's just lust a little bit. Thick arms. You know what I'm saying? Thighs. You know what I'm saying? Body, yaddy. He kept the hat on the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Donell looked like he fucking that hat. I'm just saying. I don't know. But he looked good. Again, also y'all take note of the nigga in the background sitting there in them goddamn jeans and shoes and looking stupid. Okay, let's see how old is Donell Jones? Donell is 53. They the same age. It's a Donell Jones. Donell Jones is actually older than Joe because Donell Jones was born in May. Joe was born in July. So technically, Donell Jones is older than Joe by like 2 months. Never knew. I never knew. Yep, they say Donell Jones was born May 22nd, 1973, and Joe was born July 5th, 1973. They're both 53 years old. Had no idea. I mean, Joe can still get it too. Joe don't look bad either. That shirt looked bad. Then that shirt pissed me off. Okay, but just saying. Y'all, this shirt, like this. Joe absolutely looks 10 years older in how he dresses, even how he carries himself. Let me rephrase. Joe doesn't look older. Joe has a feeling of himself, a vibe of himself, an aura of himself that gives older than Donell Jones. But Joe can get it too. Joe said, anything you say, I'll do it. Okay, well, Joe, let's do some things. So, I'm not saying that Joe looks bad at all. But Joe feels like somebody's uncle. He does. And Donell Jones is just a cool cat vibe, you know, with a bit of throat issues and whatnot. But sorry, the throat issues, the throat. Um, and I'm like, Donell wasn't even sweating, you know, as much as Joe was. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, can you imagine you at the house getting dressed? Okay, you're doing a whole fit chain. You're doing a whole fitting, you know. And who said, yeah, Joe, that's the shirt? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The busy ass shirt. Yes, that one. Okay. Every time I see him out there fucking, I was like, Lord Jesus Christ. And Joe was dancing around, having a good ass time, child. Mm-hmm. Spinning and dancing and shit. And Donell was having a good time too. The cream saying a good time nonetheless. Um, Again, look at all the phones. Everybody phone up in there. Everybody phone up in the air. Anyway. What because Joe brought out look at Joe. Look at Joe. Child, the towel, the stance, the busy ass shirt, the punk ass nigga sitting there, they got them jeans, and maybe they're not jeans, maybe they're slacks. Maybe they like some khaki slacks, but I don't know, some fitted khaki slacks. I'm not sure. But Joe was like, yeah, I'm here. Okay. And when Joe brought out 50 Cent, I was like, you know, if you didn't watch Power, you know, anyone who did not watch Power, you may not have gotten the incredible feeling of you say this is a big rich town. Yeah, I just come from the poorest parts. Now I don't really care about 50 Cent's verse. To me, the Power theme song was great and whole, but my thing was they say this is a big rich town. Yeah, I just come from the bone bar. You know, it's 50 Cent, Uncle Murder. It was 50 Cent, Uncle Murder, and Tony Yayo. Now we didn't need Tony Yayo or Uncle Murder. Lead them somewhere else. Okay, this could have just been Joe and 50. Okay, and look at 50 Cent out here in blue jeans and a goddamn blue jean jacket. I said, that's 50. Why can you wear a suit? Okay, y'all came out like drug dealers. Aggravated my damn nerves. But they did, you know, they did what another they did. It was that song and another song because they did the one song first between Joe and 50, and then Joe went into Big Rich Town and whatnot. And when 50 Cent did the second verse, I said, "Nigga, we don't come up with nigga, we need the chorus." They say this is a big rich. That's it. We do not need no second verse. And I used to love 50 Cent as a rapper, but he aggravates my spirit now. But this was a big moment because we love that song. We love the theme song, The Power. You know what I'm saying? It would have been even better if they would brought out Omari Hardwick in a suit as Ghost, they would just sit in the back sipping some cognac. That would have been epic. That would have absolutely made this a bigger moment than what it was. Okay. But again, Joe in his busy ass shirt and gold chain, child, that bald head, you know, punk ass 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying, who irks all my nerves. All my nerves. All my nerves out there. Okay. So they go away. Go away. So they did that. And that was kind of, you know, the rest of it. You know, they both did their songs with, because, you know, I think it was one had a song with Fat Joe, the other had a song with Big Pun. Donell Jones had It's So Hard. Wait, It's So Hard, yeah, because he wanna fuck my heart. What was the song? What was the song? You wanna be like Pun, but stay us. And it's that song. So he had that song with Big Pun. And then, you know, Joe had Don't Wanna Be a Player No More. You know what I'm saying? What I do, y'all? My mama somewhere asleep. But I love they both did their song. You know, one with Big Pun, that was Terror Squad. So one with Big Pun, one with uh Fat Joe, which is great. I really wish when Donell did ooh say what say what say what he would have either played Left Eyes rap. Because I don't know who could have came. You know what? He should have had Lil Mama come out and rap. Um, Left Eyes rap. That would have been great. And no, but he just did his part. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. You know that about it, baby. Okay. And then when Joe did, ooh, what did? Because what song did Joe do last? Um, it wasn't. I Want to Know. I can't remember what song, but Joe did one of his bigger songs. I can't think of what song Joe did last because Joe closed it out. Tell me what I gotta do to please you. Baby, what you want? Cause I only wanna make you happy. From the bottom of my heart is true. Yeah, 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 yeah. What song was it? Cause it wasn't All the Things. Was I Wanna Know? Maybe it was I Want. Oh, was I think it was. Okay, it was that. Cause I can't remember what it was. Okay, I wanna know. Cause that was like what song? So, and I think that was a good song to end it on. Um, um, but I also felt like one, they both did great, as I said before. Okay, they both were great. It wasn't any shady, weird shit or whatever. It wasn't any like going back and forth fussing or whatever. They both allowed each other to perform. There wasn't any because child, if that was Tank and no, who was it? When Pretty Ricky went up against B2K and Pretty Ricky kept talking cash money shit about Amarion's voice. I'm like, that's shady. So I'm happy that there wasn't any shady comments from Joe about Donell Jones' vote. They both gave each other prop. They both, bigged up each other. There was no messy ass, whatever. It was a real good, grown and sexy R&B night. Songs that you can remember if you're old enough to remember. Things was going on, child. And so I enjoyed it. I'm happy they started on time. What time did it start? Because he was like, "Would it be late?" And I'm like, "I don't know." It started at 9:07. Again, because Game and them was like almost an hour late for theirs. And did Joe do? I don't think he did. I don't recall him doing that song. But again, I at first I was gonna write down the song. I'm like, I don't care. But they probably did maybe 15 songs each. Again, Donell did, had 702 come out. He had the background singer sing the one Usher song, Losing Lines. Joe and 50 Cent did 2 songs. Big Rich Town and let me see what song. Oh no, what song does Joe have with 50 Cent? I think it's 2 songs. So it must have been because it's Big Rich Time and also Want to Get to Know. Want to Get to Know You. What is that? How's doing? Wanna get to I don't know it. I'm on Joe's thing. But I think that's the song that they did together. Those songs. They both performed. They both had 2 songs they did with other people in some kind of way. Joe with 250 Cent songs, and then Donell Jones with 702 and the one Usher song he wrote. I wanted to know you. That's what it is. But overall, been an hour. Overall, I give this Verzuz a 9.5. I'm not going to deduct more than a half a point for Donald Jones's voice. You know what I'm saying? Because he still um gave us a good time. He still reminded me of songs. I'm gonna go stream them tonight, okay? Um, but again, it was fun. It was fun. I do think going forward, there needs to be a dress code. If you are going to be on stage sitting behind there, like when the game and YG had theirs, everybody being in street clothes, and gangster gang clothes, whatever, it made sense. You know what I'm saying? It's the Bloods, okay? If I don't care, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like this was supposed to be an R&B vibe or whatever. Don't come around here in your sneakers and your white tees, okay? And when somebody tell Joe, Joe, what kind of shirt? Somebody yelled, not the bright, messy one, Joe. Joe, don't you wear allow that shirt, Joe. Okay, don't do it. Anyway, I had a good time. I enjoyed it. Good time to have ball. Okay, I have to go. We've been on for an hour. And at the end of the day, okay, both Joe and Donell Jones.
He's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
Okay, two good singing, R&B legends in the game came and had a good ass time. Okay, now who won? Who do y'all think won? Now I say they both won in the full flex and range of things. I think they both won. If you want to say who won as far as vocals, clearly Joe. Clearly Joe had a better vocal performance night. However, Donell Jones still did a good job. Okay. However, vocally, Joe had a better performance than Donell. However, in the grand scheme of things, all things, considering, they both won. We won because we had a good time, y'all, and I had a good night. Okay. I will probably be live tomorrow night at 9:00 for a hot topic chat. So come on for that. Child, the shirt lost. You know what? Joe's shirt lost and Donell Jones' throat lost. So they both took L's. Okay, they both took L's, but they both also won. Okay, because they both reminded us, their fans, how talented and how many hits they have. So y'all make sure to go stream their music, y'all, but also go watch Mother Live. Go watch the lives that you've not seen. Okay, because you should. And I will talk to y'all tomorrow. I gotta go. Love y'all.